Here are my top 5 position battles heading into the 2019 NFL season. Now, we did a video like this on my other channel, but obviously we're not on the other channel anymore, so I have kind of an updated list. I have more players on here, but basically we're going to be looking at it very similar to the other video. My top 5 position battles heading into 2019 for the Detroit Lions. We have tons of depth on both sides of the ball, obviously, because we're still early into the offseason program. With that being said, there are a lot of battles going on, and here are my top 5 battles to watch for. So we're going to be looking at the positions. So coming in at number 5 position, we have the safety position, and you can look at strong safety and free safety here, because my belief is that the 2 starters will be Quandre Diggs and Tracy Walker. Those will be the 2 guys mainly every single play. Now, sometimes we'll throw in 3 safety sets, which will change up a little bit. But otherwise, now we're just looking at that depth. Okay, so who would be that 3rd safety? Who's going to come in and sub in? What if there's injuries? Who would those guys be? And there's multiple guys that are going to be participating for that battle. That is Andrew Adams, Miles Killebrew, Tavon Wilson, Will Harris, Charles Washington. All of those guys will be competing, and that's not counting the 2 starters who I believe will be the starters coming into the season. So you can see there's a lot of depth. Some guys are going to be cut. Charles Washington is a very good special teams player, so that's what really helps him make the team every single year. Will Harris is our new rookie out of Boston College. Tavon Wilson, he might be in a little bit of a bubble now, similar with Miles Killebrew, who could move to the linebacker position, so he may not even be in this battle. And then we have Andrew Adams, the guy that we brought in, who had 4 interceptions last season and then became an free agent. The Detroit Lions decided to sign him. So safety battle, going to be very exciting. Matt Patricia loves to use the safeties. I'm super excited to see who gets a big role there. Next up, number 4, we have the wide receiver position. Again, very exciting. And I believe the top 2, if the injuries are okay and they rehab and everything goes right, Marvin Jones Jr., Kenny Galladay should be the 2. But what about the depth after that? And we have multiple guys once again here. And a lot of these guys have the caliber of starting on other teams, okay? You have Danny Amendola, Brandon Powell, Chris Lacey, Travis Fulgham, Jermaine Kearse, and Andy Jones. And with all of these guys, going to be very tough to earn playing time. Andy Jones has been playing very well this offseason, same with Chris Lacey, who was actually named the Detroit Lions offseason standout. Very good for him. Jermaine Kearse, a fast guy that we brought in, a veteran leadership. We also have Travis Fulgham, the rookie out of Old Dominion. I really like his size. And then we have Danny Amendola, who is with Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots, which actually helps him out because he's familiar with some of these Patriots guys that we have right now. So the wide receiver position, I believe the top 2 is set, but after that, there's a lot of question marks. And now who's going to be that normal slot wide receiver? Because usually you don't pick a big wide receiver, but it could be. The Lions could mix it up a little bit. Usually you would think a guy like Danny Amendola would play that position, but with guys like Chris Lacey playing well, Jermaine Kearse, who's showing that speed, he could play the slot. Then you have other guys out there like Brandon Powell, who are young and undrafted free agent that could potentially be that spot. Again, a very exciting position. All of these are very exciting. Going into number 3, we have the running back position. Okay, and once again, I think we know who the starter is here. If everything works out, Kerryon Johnson is a beast. He's one of the best running backs in the league, so we're good there. Now the question is, who's the 2nd, who's the 3rd, who's the 4th, because the Detroit Lions have held 4 running backs. But after that, who's going to get cut? So when you look at the running backs, we have Ty Johnson, the rookie out of Maryland. We have Theo Riddick, the guy that's great at catching the ball. Doesn't really do too well running, though. Zach Zenner, and then we have CJ Anderson. Now, the thing that I get from Theo Riddick is that I don't think he had a lot of opportunity to run the ball. Maybe you guys can argue that. That's fine. But I think back when it was him and Amir Abdullah, I think he was a solid running back. He had some good moments back then, and maybe he just needs a little bit more of an opportunity. I would not let Theo Riddick go just because of his ability to catch. But when you have other guys like Ty Johnson, who ran a 4.26 that can catch the ball, it really makes it hard for Theo Riddick to make the team. And not to mention that Kerryon Johnson has also been showing that. So you can see here a lot of depth. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. I think that Ty Johnson will definitely make the team being a rookie. CJ Anderson probably will as well. Now you have your top 3, and it's really a toss-up between Theo Riddick and Zach Zenner. Excited to see what happens there. Next up at the number 2 position, we have the tight ends. And I think we have our top 3 tight ends pretty much named right now, okay? And the 3rd one may kind of be a surprise to you, but I think this is how it's going to look. We have TJ Hockenson as our number 1, along with Jesse James, who was actually named the most overpaid player, which I don't understand. He's a young guy. Yes, he was paid a lot, but he's young and he hasn't played with the Detroit Lions yet, so I can't say that. He could be great. And then we have Logan Thomas, who I believe is the 3rd tight end at this point. That could change, but right now I think he's the 3rd. But then you have the rookie, Isaac Nauta, Jerome Cunningham, who's been here, and you have tight ends like that are all fighting for position. So with that being said, it's going to be very hard to make depth with this tight end group because it's very deep. So looking at the tight ends again, I think our top 3 are set. and you usually don't hold a lot of tight ends. You may hold a fourth, so there's probably a good chance one of these guys are going to be cut. And for Jerome Cunningham and Isaac Nauta, it's probably a good thing that Detroit Lions already waived Michael Roberts for them because they have a better chance to make the team. So we'll see what happens there. I think they would lean towards Isaac Nauta because he's a rookie, but you never know because he was such a late round pick. Finally, at the number 1 position, we have the positional group that everybody is questioning right now, and it is at cornerback position. So our number 1 should be there, and that's Darius Slay. We've heard him talk about he's not sure when he's coming back, but I'm sure he'll be here for week 1. So Darius Slay is the number 1. The number 2 cornerback position is a question. I think the number 3 will be Justin Coleman, the man who we signed to a huge deal, which he's never had before, 4 years, $36 million. But the number 2 cornerback position battle is going to be a big question. And then after the number 2 cornerback, look at all the depth that we have. Who's going to actually make the team? These are the guys. Are you ready for this? We have Teez Tabor, Rashaan Melvin, Michael Ford, Jamal Agnew, D. Virgin, Marcus Cooper, Amani Oruwari, and Justin Coleman. It's that deep at the cornerback position. You can see D. Virgin and Marcus Cooper may not make the team. I would think those two would be the first guys out. Amani is a rookie who we drafted in the 5th round out of Penn State. You see Jamal Agnew, who's a great punt and kick returner, so that'll probably help him out. Michael Ford, who stepped in big last year as an undrafted free agent and did play that number 2 cornerback position at times. Really proud of what he could do. Rashaan Melvin, who we brought in as a free agent this offseason, really good signing. And Teez Tabor trying to fight his way after struggling. Looks really good this offseason. Everybody's hoping that he can be what that 2nd round pick was supposed to be. So those are my top 5 position battles heading into the 2019 season. Let me hear your thoughts and comments below. If you guys have any video suggestions, also let me know as well. I was thinking about starting a gaming channel. It won't affect this one, but somewhere else. And if you guys want to see that, also let me know. Thank you, Pride, for watching, and I'm out.